tell the picture of her when she started. Who was that woman when she finished? She did not even look, absolutely did not even look like the same person. And she goes through this insulin resistance and how you can have one meal a day that has some carbohydrates, but you have to eat that within 1 hour. Not an hour and 10 minutes, within an hour, so that the pancreas does not spill insulin again. So, Carbohydrate Addict's Diet, Drs. Heller and Heller. Very, very good book if you are battling with diabetes. This is for diabetes mellitus, diabetes type 2. Diabetes type 1 still needs to be low carbohydrate so that the pancreas does not need to release insulin. And with insulin-dependent type 1 diabetes, that insulin has got to come from a pump, insulin pump, or by taking shots, and you can still prevent the need for insulin by utilizing an extremely low carbohydrate diet. So the thing is over the years, like I was told decades ago, that you could overcome diabetes type 1. I have not found that to be true in 37 years. However, you do have the ability to be able to reduce the amount of insulin that you need to take, and that is by having an extremely low carbohydrate diet. I want to touch on a couple of products for diabetes, and then I do want to move on with the biochemical imbalances, ADD, ADHD, and autism. So I want to go through a couple of products. One is called Pro-Pancreas Formula, and the other product is called Sugar Reg, and it stands for sugar regulation. Pro-Pancreas Formula can be found at my website, kingdomofhealing.com. And this is really, it is a wonderful product. It helps the liver control the blood sugar. It helps to tone and strengthen the pancreas. It helps to enhance digestion. It builds immunity, and it strengthens the urinary and the whole glandular system. Today's average diets lack many of the nutrients needed to support normal blood sugar. The diet is not conducive to good digestion or immunity or good healthy glandular function. The Pro-Pancreas Formula has a combination of herbs and nutritional compounds that support several systems of the body, including the digestive, glandular, urinary, and the immune system simultaneously. These systems interrelate to control the blood sugar levels. It aids blood cleansing, and it provides protection from toxic or microbial attack. The product has in that juniper berries, which are very beneficial for the pancreas and the kidneys, because we always hear about kidney problems with people long-term with diabetes, and the juniper berries is very, very good for strengthening and healing the kidneys, as well as strengthening and toning the pancreas. Slippery elm bark, I've talked about that before. Wonderful amount of minerals and trace minerals. There is licorice root in that. Now, licorice root balances blood sugar, and in this combination, it does help to keep the blood sugar in check. If you're dealing with low blood sugar, like hypoglycemia, then, using licorice root in higher amounts is very, very good. And higher amounts of licorice root with things like Addison's disease as well, a disease of the adrenal glands. Garlic is in this formula, yarrow, cayenne pepper, which is capsicum. Golden seal. Golden seal actually produces insulin in the body. So golden seal is, we know it as using it mainly as an antibiotic, but it is used in the production of insulin. So it stimulates the pancreas in diabetes mellitus, diabetes type 2, to secrete insulin. Cedar berries is also something that works with the production of insulin. There are other herbs in that: dandelion, uva ursi, marshmallow, nettle, mullein, and white oak, which helps with a circulatory of moving that throughout the system. The sugar reg formula, it is specific to supporting the glandular system, and it supports this blood sugar levels if you're already in a good range with your blood sugar. It also activates the glucose, the cell glucose transporters. That's also extremely supportive to the liver. It is a formula that has 8 nutrients that support proper glandular function. The combination helps with the body's effort to maintain the blood sugar levels at already a normal range. Banana leaf, banamba leaf, glucosamine, bitter melon is in this formula. It is specific to the glandular system, particularly the pancreas. All 3 have been used extensively along with fenugreek to support normal blood sugar levels, and it provides significant antioxidant benefits. Nopal comes from a cactus. That is used to aid digestion, and it helps to strengthen the liver. Prickly pear cactus has been well documented throughout history in helping the body maintain acceptable blood sugar levels. And chromium, of course, is the trace mineral that's needed for keeping the blood sugar in balance. I don't use chromium with people with low blood sugar. I found that it gets them kind of too low, gets that blood sugar level down too low. But chromium is wonderful. It's a trace mineral, and it's really, really needed for glucose balancing, blood sugar balancing in the body. Cinnamon extract, there's been a lot of research on that, and it has a really positive effect on the glucose levels. So I think that if you will look at trying to search out the book on Carbohydrate Addict's Diet, it's a wonderful book on explaining everything. The other thing is, Dr. Atkins, there's just so many diets out there nowadays, and everybody's kind of got a little different spin and a take on all of that. And I'm going to tell you, the true guru with coming up with this low-carbohydrate diet was Dr. Atkins, Robert Atkins. And yes, when he first wrote his book in the early 80s, we had saccharin and we had cyclamates, and those are icky things, that have now been replaced with Splenda, NutraSweet, and aspartame. It's like, sorry, some more neurotoxins. Let's grow some more tumors in lab animals with that stuff. But the thing is that any of Dr. Atkins' books, if you read those, you can see where so many people have taken a spin on all of that, and they're coming up with all these other names, and they're claiming them as their own discoveries. Dr. Atkins was a cardiologist, and he came up with the diet for his heart patients. But what he discovered is when he put them on these diets with low carbohydrates and lean meats and lots of vegetables to build up the strength of their cardiovascular system and their heart, he found that their blood sugar levels were going down, and those that had diabetes type 2, diabetes mellitus, were no longer diabetic.
Wow.
And he had so much problems from the American Medical Association. They tried to take his medical license. He spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, to keep his medical license. And, the truth that we've got out there about how dangerous a high carbohydrate diet is on your health, I'm going to tell you something. We, the person who rightfully deserves the recognition on all of that is Dr. Robert Atkins, Atkins. And you can also find all of his books on Amazon, or, hey, I love cruising through Goodwill. They have some wonderful books. It scares me to see all of these fabulous books, because I think in 10, 15, 20 years, we're going to be a society where we don't have books.
Right.
And I love books, and you've got to have books. So
can I
yes,
make a couple of testimonials or a couple of stories that now I deal with. Being a caregiver, I have several diabetic patients. Okay, now I love these herbs that you're telling them to use, because I do suggest. I love herbs. Okay, so I'm always gonna send them to that path and to the essential oils. I mean, okay, now I would love to bring on a patient next week, if you would not mind, and just kind of bring up the diabetes discussion next week, if you don't mind. Now, what is normal blood sugar levels for a healthy person?
Well, normal blood sugar level should not be certainly under 70 or 75, and it should not be over 100.
Okay, so now I have this diabetic patient. Now, I hope I don't get this first number wrong, because it was a pretty significant. His numbers were over 400, actually.
Well, I want to see what's in his kitchen. I want to see what's in his pantry and his refrigerator.
He had to go into surgery.
Okay.
Actually, twice within this past month.
Okay.
All right, now I had him on these cannabis oil pills that I make. All right. And they were working good, but then I kind of batch ran dry. I had to hurry up and make some, but still he went through a little lapse, right? So numbers went back up. Had to go surgery. He starts taking the oil right away.
What was his surgery on? If I might ask. Oh, okay, you don't remember.
I really wish I could tell you. He's told me a couple of times, actually.
Okay.
But they were dealing with a couple of issues at one time. I think one was stents, and then the other one.
Okay, heart.
Yeah. So I mean, I know they were dealing with a couple of issues. But one of them, we got him on a good regimen of the cannabis oil pills, and we got his numbers down to 95.
That's a good number.
And
that's a very good number.
It's been steady at 95. So
that's excellent, especially if you have someone who's been running blood sugars of 400. The danger with running those high blood sugars is the organs that take a hit with that is the heart and cardiovascular system.
Right.
The eyes, the kidneys. And anyone who deals with high blood sugar levels over a long period of time will eventually have consequences with the cardiovascular system, the kidney, the urinary system, as well as with your eyes. And it's like I said before in a past show, is that we need 20% of our body's energy just for our eyes to work.
Wow.
20%, so that we can see.
Yeah, this cannabis oil pill is dealing with both of those issues at once. Not only his blood sugar levels, but his high blood pressure. I mean, it was extremely high, and I think that's why he had to go in for surgery. But I'm not going to, please don't hold me to that.
Yeah.
But I know it was a contributing factor. I can almost guarantee you that one.
Sure.
And
but we've got to have the nutrition.
Most definitely. I will never ever not tell you that you need, more than likely, you need to change what you're eating and what you're consuming. If you're not willing to do that, I mean, there's only so much even my pill can do. I'm nowhere even near your expertise. You know what I mean? But
the good old saying of You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
That's
and
true.
it's true.